It was incorrect for a public comment to allude to Mr. Lessard. He had nothing to do with this, and I'm sure it upsets him. He's done a lot for this community, both free and paid.
And
he knows where every pipe in this town is. I know you did. And he knows where probably every pipe in this town is buried. So I apologize to him as well for having his name mentioned. You can mention, when you're making public comments, you can mention mine as much as you want, no problem, but be careful when you're mentioning people who at least aren't represented on the board. I believe, and I'm not sure if it's something that I dream when I get home, but I recall in several conversations with the Director of Public Works as we were talking about this, first at the public hearing when the engineering firm was in, secondly, when I believe we gave him direction to do some camera work in the sewer lines that were there, and then lastly, when he came back to say, you know, it might cost X, that we had given you, or some of us had given you enough that you would have been reasonable to say they want this encumbered. So I don't hold you at all responsible. If it's a problem, it's a selectman's problem, and I'll be happy to say I voted for it, because I think it's the right thing to do for Hampton. We need to get these infrastructure issues resolved, and this is one way of carrying forward some money to achieve that. So I accept the idea that it's not proper per the law. We'll have to deal with that issue. Let us all remember that the need for the work hasn't gone away. The money has gone away. And it's 0.25% of our spending, so it's not as if, I know $100,000 is a large number, but we are running a $25 million business here. So I'm going to be voting for the motion. Thank you, Mr. Schwotzer, for all your work.
And I would like to thank you, Mr. Schwotzer, too. Maybe we were a little off track this time getting some advice, and we getting the last late advice from the town attorney. We never did, like I said, there was no encumbrance. It was a matter of discussion. We have, unfortunately, a lot of people here looking that there's a problem. And I'm happy to say that in the 9 years I've been here, I have never seen any funny business or any problems going on. I have full confidence in you, and I will continue to make sure that you're not micromanaged. Thank you. All those in favor?
Further discussion.
Stand by,
All
please.
those in favor?
I'd like a word here. And some people have been perhaps more loquacious than others in town government, and to comment on some of the things that were said tonight about one of Hampton's great families, business owners that go back 100 years, servicemen and women to this nation, a really great Hampton family. Give the shirt off their backs to anybody. They've never met a stranger. Doesn't matter if you've been in this town a week, a year, a month, and to hear some of the comments that came forth about that fine family tonight. Who's next? Who's next in this town? I just can't speak to it, and to subject that family to that, if someone were to call those disputatious, pugnacious, insidious, pernicious comments, perhaps many of the people in this town would not disagree. And I was shocked. I'm shocked by the gutter that this debate has taken as an avenue, and I think the people of Hampton deserve a much higher degree and caliber of communication and empathy and respect and civility towards each other. And you, Mr. Chairman, and you, Mr. Welch, and all of your department heads and all of our employees have always afforded that. And this is a bellwether, and I will not sit at this table, nor did I tonight, when those types of comments are coming downrange. It is not part of my job description as a selectman, and I will not tolerate it. My family will not tolerate it, and we stand by that family, and we stand by this town, and we stand by these people that work for this town. And I thank the people that work very hard to produce product here, and I think we can all do a lot better in communicating on this board when we have issues, and including our legal opinions, our accounting opinions, and give these fine people time to work an issue and communicate back to us. Thank you very much.
Further discussion. I don't see how, given the interpretation that we've got on the $100,000 PO not being a legal obligation of December 31st, how we can consider the $14,350 for the code book a legal obligation on December 31st when there was no agreement with the vendor, there was no PO until a week ago. I would make a motion to amend the amount of the $385,070 to $370,720, in which case I will vote for it, because based on the finance director's description that all of the POs were legal obligations, I think we will have a pure list of encumbrances at that point, and I would vote for it. I will not vote for the $385 based on knowing that the $14,350 was not a legal obligation as of December 31st.
Did you want to comment on this, Mr. Schwotzer?
It comes down to is that I screwed up. I was told by Mr. Welsh to issue a PO or at least take care of it, and I didn't do it in time, and so therefore I apologize for that, and if you want to remove it, then that's fine.
I'll second the amendment.
Did you want to weigh in on this,
No.
Mr. Gerald?
We are raising the standard for being a administrator to a level of godlike behavior. What you're saying is that no mistake is tolerated, and if you don't have it done by midnight of December the 31st, then you can't do it. The gentleman has suggested that it was something that was on the list to do. I have absolutely zero reason not to believe him. And we're saying, okay, a mistake was made, screw you. And I think that's just a little bit too much. So I'm not going to vote for your amendment.
And I call that micromanaging. Just put
Further
that out on
discussion,
the table.
Mr. Chairman.